Hi, this is Andrew for Geek News Central, and this afternoon we're going to be taking a look at some motion sensors from LinknLink. Now, most of you who have any kind of smart home, or even people who have old security systems, will recognize this kind of sensor. It's a PIR sensor, and you'll know it from kind of like the opaque plastic dome on it, and quite often there's a little red light behind it if you've got one of the older kind of sensors. And these use, as the clue's kind of in the name, PIR. They use infrared to detect people and animals. That's body heat to you and me. Now, these ones from LinknLink, they use mmWave radar to pick up people. And we've got two different ones here. We've got the eMotion Pro and the eMotion Max. And they use slightly different frequencies for their detection. The Pro, let me just get this right. Yeah, the Pro uses 24 gigahertz and the eMotion Max uses 60 gigahertz. Now, there's benefits of both of these. The different characteristics come with the different frequencies. The Pro at 24 gigahertz, it's able to kind of see through light things. So outside they talk about rain and fog, and inside I can see online that people have installed some of these inside cupboards. And because the door isn't very dense, it's able to see out into the room. The 60 gigahertz one seems to have the ability to track more than one, if you like, target in the room, one person. So it can be used in situations where you want to see if there's more than one person in the room and things like that. In addition, if you use this cable, you can also track temperature and humidity. And both the Max and the Pro also have IR blasters built into them. So if it's installed in a room, you'd be able to potentially control your TV, your set-top boxes, and things like that. Now, in terms of price, let's get this right. The Max comes in at a penny under $55, and then the Pro is just a little bit under $37 as well. So they're definitely a little bit more expensive than these. You can pick up a PIR style sensor for usually $15 to $20 without too much trouble. But hopefully the extra features of these mean that it's worthwhile. So in terms of integration, they work with Amazon Alexa, Google Home Assistant, and apparently integration with Samsung SmartThings is coming soon. So let's get these out of the box, get them installed and connected up with the app, and then see how they get on. Okay, back soon. Okay, so we are back with the eMotion Pro and the eMotion Max. Let's have a look and see what's inside the box. So let's start with the Max. Right, so what have we got here? So this is the Max, some instructions, quick setup guide. Looks like a little stand for the device, and we've got a cable, little USB-C cable, and then here is the unit itself. I'm going to guess this kind of somehow joins on there. We'll look at that later. Oh, and I was actually wondering where you plug it in, and you can kind of see that it goes in there. So let's try this. Okay, so this is going to clip in there, or click in there, hopefully. That's it. And then connect through there. And then we're going to stick that on there somehow. Does this, see whether, oh right, okay, it's more than just a little clip. It can actually adjust to different angles. So that's kind of nice. Quite an effective little hinge mechanism there. You can adjust it both height and you can tilt. Clever. Okay, and so let's just take the plastic cover off that. There we go. So obviously you can kind of see the size of it. And what I'm going to do is let's just put that to one side and have a quick look at the quick setup guide. I'm going to guess that it involves the app and stuff, which I've already downloaded and got set up. Okay, there's the app it talks about. Okay, let's get the app. Hi, and we're back with the mmWave sensors from LinknLink. Now, if you were expecting a kind of run through of the LinknLink app, I have to apologize, that's not going to happen. Now, don't get me wrong, the app is absolutely fine. It looks great, it works well, but the signing up process and the connecting of the sensors to the Wi-Fi, it was just very long and laborious and got boring very quickly. You had to sign up for a username and password, you had to connect up the sensors, and one kind of idiosyncrasy is that you kind of connect up the main sensor or the main device, and then you have to kind of connect up all the individual sensors like the presence sensor, the brightness sensor, the temperature and humidity sensor, the IR blaster, one after the other, and it really just got very boring very quickly. So apologies for that. Now, as I said, the app is fine. It looks great. It brings in things like the weather forecast. It really is quite well crafted. There are a few idiosyncrasies. I think instead of saying okay, occasionally it says I understand and things like that. But the app seems to work fine. So there's no worries there. It's just not really that interesting after all. So as I say, we're back with these. We've got the LinknLink eMotion Pro and the LinknLink eMotion Max. I'm not quite too sure which one this actually is. They both look exactly the same, but I do also have the temperature and humidity sensor connected into it as well. As I mentioned in the introduction, these do use mmWave rather than infrared, and one of the benefits that can bring is the ability to position this kind of like out of sight. So I was successfully able to put this into a cupboard, both one with a glass sight, which I appreciate, a glass front, which I appreciate isn't exactly out of sight, but also behind a slightly more solid wooden or MDF kind of door, and it was able to detect presence in the room with when it was in the cupboard with the door closed. I couldn't really see any particular loss in sensitivity, but I was really surprised that it would do it. So definitely a big benefit over infrared sensors. Obviously, the one downside would be is that you can't obviously use the IR blaster functionality if it's hidden in a cupboard, or even I think if it's behind a glass door. Basically, the infrared doesn't pass through it. So that is one of the downsides. The other features of the, if you like, of being able to use mmWave is that I have to get these around the right way, but the Pro can detect up to about 5.5 meters away from the sensor. And in addition to detecting presence, it can also figure out whether the person or the animal is coming towards the sensor or is going away, which is quite a benefit over the, let's say, the standard PIRs. And the other one, the Max, it can actually track multiple people in the room instead of just really knowing that there's presence. And it actually has a little kind of two-dimensional grid which you can just see the little people on. So although people didn't see the app, I will try and put a little kind of demonstration up in the top of the screen so you can kind of see that happening. So it really is very impressive when you see it for the first time, and it actually works really well for one of my rooms, which is a combination kitchen diner. And there's always been the issue of detecting movement in one part of the room separately from the other. But the benefit of using the Max in this instance is that it does have this two-dimensional grid, which you can kind of mark out which part is one zone and which part is another. So in my example, I was able to say, well, look, this part is the kitchen area and this part is the diner. And you can set up alerts independently for each area. So if somebody goes into the kitchen area, I get alert, or if somebody goes into the diner, I get a different alert. So that really works well. Now, in addition, it was easy to connect these through to other ecosystems. So I was able to connect to both Google Home and Amazon Alexa's, Amazon Echo's environment. And all the sensors kind of come through. You get the zones that you might have created on the sensors appearing, and I was successfully able to set it up so that when it detected motion in one of the rooms, it basically used the IR blaster to turn on the TV in the room, which was obviously quite useless at times, but still showed that it could be done. So from that point of view, it's great. Sadly, it does not yet have integration with Samsung SmartThings. I'm told that that is on the roadmap for the devices, so I'm looking forward to that being available, as I'm kind of a big SmartThings user. There's also integration with home automation or home assistant. I regrettably don't have that set up, so I wasn't able to test that. But given the experience with Google Home and Alexa, I'll be very confident that it works really well. When it comes to price, the Pro is the one that just detects, if you like, individual people. It's $36.99 US, and then the Max, which does do the multiple people, that comes in at $54.99 again US dollars. So they definitely are a bit more expensive than your ordinary PIR, but you do get some additional features which could very much be of benefit, either in terms of just simply that you don't have to keep putting a battery in it, or else the ability to track multiple people, see longer distances, and all those kinds of things. If you want to know more, please go to LinknLink's website. It's www.linknlink.com. I'll put it in the bit at the bottom. And again, just to remind people, these were supplied to me for review by LinknLink. So thanks very much to them. Look, that's about it, I think. As I say, quite impressed with what these can achieve. It's the first time I've ever had to review these mmWave sensors. So I have to say, really been quite impressed. So look, I think we'll wrap it up there. This is Andrew for Geek News Central and the LinknLink eMotion Max and Pro presence sensors. Thanks very much.